It's always nice to have something good with my dinner. I did have the rest of the heart attack chicken, and now I'm going to have I don't know how big this T-bone steak is. Maybe a pound or so. I'm not sure. It's a pretty thick one. Looks good. So hopefully this will be very enjoyable because it's been on sale at Fresco y Mas. And the interesting thing is when I went to Winn-Dixie, I found out that they put it on sale there too, and it really wasn't on sale. So they must have had some extra steaks that they marked down. I made that short video where I was comparing the cost of meat to the cost of something like a plantain strip. And it really is funny because when it comes to plantains, that's actually a survival food, something that I would eat if I didn't have any meat, something that I would pick from my own yard. And to see that they're selling like less than a pound of those things for almost $9 in some places, that's ridiculous. When this is probably $5 worth of steak or whatever, it's far more satisfying, and I'm actually looking forward to this. It's delicious. Now, obviously I could go out my yard and grab some burro bananas or plantain or something like that and cook that up, put it in the beef tallow or lard, but that just doesn't excite me. For some reason, the steak, like in the morning, steak and eggs, I look forward to that every single day. Now, the very few times that I've had to stay with friends and they make their breakfast, a lot of times their day starts with coffee. And I hate the smell of coffee. It just makes me feel awful. So I usually have to go outside. And then they have their pancakes and their grits and all the other duck food that people like to eat. It really is quite frustrating because, at least they do often cook eggs, but then the problem is they're using some stupid nonstick pan with some kind of seed oils or margarine or some other kind of garbage. So even that, it's just not ideal. Now, hopefully soon, I keep waiting for it, but hopefully soon I'll get the engine for my truck, and then once I get that truck where it's running and I can also fix my van, I will be making some trips. Hopefully I'll be visiting friends, maybe some new friends. And the great thing is when I have my truck, I'll have my plug-in cooler, which I can load up with meat. I'll have my portable grill, plus the engine, so I'll never have to go hungry. And I'll have eggs and all kinds of good stuff with me. I try to have enough survival food of the good kind. And again, if they have any meat or they have any foods that I can eat, like eggs or maybe some dairy, I can eat that too. I mean, everybody I know, well, with the exception of the vegans, they tend to eat meat. Now, what I want to do is just let you know that I've gotten so much positive comments and a few good emails. I'm going to try to make the Saturday morning live stream a regular thing. And also, with that in mind, I'm going to start making up some subjects. Now, one of the subjects that I want to make a video on soon, once I can figure out how to put the video together with some images and some other things I want to put in it, is the whole idea of the influencer versus the de-influencer. And as you know, in the last few years, a lot of people have come up into the internet space claiming to be some kind of expert on how to make money, how to get the woman of your dreams. There's all kinds of nonsense. I mean, you have the rather popular, not very attractive guy that he shaves his head and he has an ugly tattoo on his chest and he's in decent shape and smokes a cigar and rides around in an exotic car and lives in some overpriced crap hole and yells at people, and he pretty much appeals to the younger generation, the 20-somethings, telling them that, you get mad and you have to do this. And then they have other people, and this has been around for a long time, the influencers, that they say that you can speak things into existence, the law of attraction, and all this other crap. And I wanted to make a video on that because I get really sick and tired of people just saying and acting like this stuff is really true when it isn't. So that's one thing I want to do. And again, my YouTube channel is different than the others because you're not going to find the flashy graphics. I can't even get a computer that's powerful enough to run a virtual background. So you're going to see my dumpy house and outside in the yard. And if I do make a video from my car, it's difficult because a lot of these influencers, they get in their car, probably because they had to rent the thing, because that's what a lot of them, I think, do. They rent some overpriced apartment, and they rent some exotic car, and then they make a bunch of videos in the car, and then that way they have a library of videos that they can post on a regular basis. When they make enough money from the members or subscribers or whatever you call it, then they'll go ahead and rent the car again, make another set of videos. And you'll notice that those videos are not really set to a certain time. There's no date, there's no current events. It's just the same old talk, the so-called aggression talk, and blah, 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 blah. You know, I've watched several of these channels just to get an idea because I want to make debunking videos. And I've even interacted with a few of them. But it really is quite funny because they always seem to have a positive attitude until you point out some of their flaws and some of their, let's just say, not so truthful ideas, and then they tend to be your worst enemy. But anyway, on my channel, it's all about having fun. It's about enjoying yourself. It's about not stressing over things that you can't control, but trying to connect with other people so that you can do better with what you do have to control. And that's kind of the way it works, because in reality, we live in a very dysfunctional world, which has been controlled by a lot of very dysfunctional people. And the way I look at it is that you have the producers and the parasites. The vast majority of the super wealthy are of the parasite class. They consume a lot more than they produce, and honestly, if they didn't exist, it wouldn't be a problem. In fact, I think our lives would improve if we didn't have them trying to lead us. Because these people who put themselves as experts, and you can't criticize them, they try to make themselves like a god, they're nothing but a drain. They're basically taking away. And remember, every one of these people relies on thousands, maybe millions of other people that are productive to pay for their lifestyle. And this can be done directly with their memberships, subscriptions, or whatever, or it can also be done indirectly through the financial system, thanks to the Federal Reserve and their constant inflation. Now, on the other hand, you have the people out there that try to convince you that there's some worldwide conspiracy, that they're trying to take advantage of you, and I don't even think it rises to that level. I think what it is just the system has always been exploitative. It's asset stripping. You're trying to take away a little bit of everybody's productive assets and collect them together for yourself so you can live a life of wealth and luxury. And then you rub it in the noses of the people in front of you, telling them that it's your fault that you're poor. You could be like me if you just follow my system. But guess what? It ain't free. You are going to have to pay them to get access to their system. And guess what? Their system is very simple. I can tell you what their system is right now. There's no secret to it. Find a bunch of suckers, talk them into sending you money, and that's it. It's that easy. So, again, don't beat yourself up over it. I'm going to try to make a detailed video, but for now, I'm going to enjoy my steak, and I hope that you are able to enjoy time, maybe some delicious food, maybe time with your family. That's the most important, because unless you're single like me, if you do have a family, they're going to carry on the generation, and you want to make sure that you give them the education and the love that they need, so that way they can continue and hopefully will wake everybody up and eventually just stop supporting the kleptocrat class. Don't waste your time. I know too many people that wasted their time voting in the last election, and they are so convinced that this new, repeated person is going to keep his promises. And I can tell you right now, it's going to break every one of them, because that's the way they work. Politicians and big shots in general, they tell you anything to get you to believe. And then when they're in, that's it. You're forgotten. So anyway, expect the system to continue to get worse. The only way that you can make your life better is to get together with other people that are like-minded and get together with people that are not looking to take advantage of you. That's really important. And I'm going to try to find ways. We're going to try to make some videos that'll help you recognize what the traits are for people that are manipulative and some of the things that you may have in your own life that are making you vulnerable. And that's it. So, anyway, I hope to catch you again soon.